Good morning and welcome to this beginner level inversion yoga flow. This is going to be focused on a few inversions and getting you ready for some advanced inversions down the road. So, I hope you enjoy it and let's begin. Come to the center of your mat and let's start off with child's pose. Sitting on top of our heels, extending our hands forward, resting our head on the mat. You can extend your fingers a little forward to find that deeper stretch in your back. Bring your intention here. Bring your focus to your breath. Long, deep inhale, followed by long, relaxing exhales. From here, let's meet me in a tabletop position. And let's do a few cat and cow poses. So inhale as you go into cow pose, looking up. Exhale as you look down and go into cat pose, bringing your hips forward. Inhale into cow pose, looking up, and then having that curve in your back. And then exhale as you go into cat pose, pushing your hips forward and then curving your back in the opposite direction. And repeat it a few times at your own pace with your own breath. Inhaling into cow and exhaling into cat. Come into a neutral position, and from here let's go into a downward facing dog. And many people don't know this, but a downward facing dog could also be considered a form of inversion, since your head is below your heart here. But yeah, since it's your first downward facing dog of the day, feel free to stretch from left to right. Keep a slight bend in your knees. Whatever movement feels comfortable. We are still warming up here. Keep your focus on your breath. Long breaths. And then keep your gaze or your eyesight at your navel or at the back of your mat. Stay here for another breath, trying to push against the ground. And then slowly step forward and then go into forward fold. And then come all the way up as you inhale. And then exhale and go into forward fold again. Resting your hands on the ground, keeping a slight bend in your knees. And from here, We can do a ragdoll, basically grabbing the opposite elbows from our hands and just letting our body fall forward. And then if you want, you can also swing them from side to side. Keep breathing here. Gently release your arms to fall on the ground again and go into halfway lift. You can keep your hands on your shin or keep them on the ground, maintaining that length in your spine, looking forward. Then go again into a forward fold. And then inhale as you come all the way up. From here, let's spread our legs wide to go into a wide standing stance. Keeping our hands on our waist. Inhale as you look up and find that length in your spine. And then bend forward from your lower back, going all the way down as low as you can. And as you keep going down, you can keep a slight bend in your knees and do a bind with your hands at the back, and then keep moving forward. And slightly move the weight from your heels to your toes to go into that deeper fold. Stay here for another breath and try to push your hands down towards the ground, opening up your shoulders here. And then inhale as you slowly come back all the way up. Your head lifts up last. Remove the bind and come to the forward of your mat again and stand in Tadasana. From here, inhale as you lift your arms up and bend forward. And now lifting your right leg up in the air. This is trying to get into that inversion position, just getting a taste of it by lifting your one leg up and lift it up as high as you can, opening up that hip bones and those hamstrings. Slowly bring your right leg back and repeat it on the other side with the left leg, lifting it as high as you can, using your hands for support and maybe moving a weight little on your hands to lift your legs further up in the air. And then slowly bring it back to meet your right foot, and then inhale as you come all the way back up. Again, inhale as you lift your hands up and exhale into forward fold, and then step back and then go into a plank position, keeping your shoulders straight up on top of your wrist, engaging your shoulder blades and not falling in and pushing against the ground, and then move into downward facing dog. We are doing these to increase some strength in our hands, in our wrist, shoulders. Because a lot of inversions happen with the support of our hands and our shoulders. Then from downward facing dog, let's go into a plank again, but this time let's do it on our forearms. So come on our forearms, maintain a straight alignment of the body, shoulders stacked on top of your elbows. Whole body is engaged, especially the core. And from here, let's go into the dolphin position. So basically moving our feet forward and looking at our navel. Bring it as close to your body as possible. You should feel an increase in pressure on your shoulders. And then slowly move your feet back and go into a plank on our hands. And gently rest your knees on the ground now and go for a brief child's pose. You can rotate your wrists if there's any tension built up. Keep breathing here, trying to bring your breath back, trying to slow your heart rate. And from here, let's come into a lying position on our back. And then inhale as you lift both your legs up in the air and keep them there, maintaining a 90-degree angle with the ground, keeping them as straight as you can. For a lot of us, which is not possible, you can maintain that slight bend in your knees because of tight hamstrings, but keep engaging your legs, and eventually we want to keep at a 90-degree angle between our legs and the ground. Keep breathing here. We have a tendency to hold our breath in this pose. And then gently release and bring your legs on the ground. From here, bend your knees to bring your feet closer to your body so that they are in reachable distance with your arms. You should be able to slightly touch them. And from here, we're gonna inhale as we lift our hips up while tucking our chin, and keep pushing your hips up as high as you can. You can keep resting your hands on the ground, or you can bind your hands below your hips to help with further pushing yourself up. Keep breathing and make sure that you're focusing on breathing long, deep breaths instead of the short breaths. And keep breathing through your nose here. And then gently release the pose, coming down one vertebrae at a time. Let's repeat it another time. Again, lifting yourself off the ground by pushing your hips up, engaging your core, tucking your chin, binding your hands underneath, and using the force from your feet and your hands to push yourself even up. And all that while breathing, maintaining that breath, and then slowly come back on the mat. Now extend your legs And from here, we are trying to go into a shoulder stand. So lift your body all the way up and use your hands to support your waist and support your body weight. Keep your chin tucked in. You can stay here for as long as you want. Make sure to don't move your neck in this position or look left or right. We want to maintain that straight gaze in between our legs so that we don't damage our neck. And then from here, if you feel comfortable, you can maybe bring your legs a little forward. If you want, you can bring them all the way down and let your feet touch the ground above your head. Uh, but maybe just stay here and just work on that movement of legs to get yourself prepared for halasana pose. Then slowly, one vertebrae at a time, bring yourself down to the mat, your arms by your side. Now let's hug our left knee in 2 inches below the knee and pull it down towards your underarm, slightly to the left of your body in that gap, keeping our right foot grounded, and repeat it on the opposite side. Once done, release your legs and bring them both together and hug them 2 inches below the knee and try to pull them towards your body. You can hold the opposite wrist in this case and then release the bind and go into your final resting position, Savasana. Your hands and legs wide open. Thank you for following along in this gentle beginner inversion flow. I hope you enjoyed it and look forward to seeing you in the more intermediate and advanced levels. Until then, namaste.